Live.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Unless Bruce has some buzzballs left over. I don't know.
No.
No buzzballs. We're doing that tomorrow night.
We're yeeting those into the stratosphere.
You're yeeting them into the stratosphere.
It's not a quality beverage, Lauren. I'm a quality moose.
It was meant to be unpleasant.
I don't know.
I wasn't trying to make you try something you would like.
I thought we were just trying things we hadn't had before. I didn't know that
it's supposed to be gross.
Unpleasant.
We'll go half and half next time.
We'll see. I'm allergic to everything but tequila.
Oh, well, there's a recipe.
It's not the worst problem to have in my list of problems, so I'll take it, right?
I mean, you're welcome to join. I just figured that, not everyone wants to try things that are disturbing to them.
No.
Or if there's any food you've never had that you've always wanted to try, we could do that. Like if you've never had a bagel, we could get a bagel and you could have it.
Yeah.
I could survive a bagel. I have such a weak stomach. Like I'm such a sissy about stuff. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm still
even if it's something like, even if it's something that's totally fine, if I haven't had it and I think my reaction or somebody else's reaction will be bad to it, then I will get sick.
My reaction will be bad. It doesn't matter what it is. You can give me like a plain hot dog. Anything other than that.
I told you Chipotle has been my thing lately. Sorry. Okay, let's get to it.
No, I'm like that though. I'll eat the same thing over and over again for like weeks, and then I don't want it again for a year.
You'll eat a Domino's pizza every day for 6 months?
Not 6 months, 6 weeks probably. Yeah. What's up, Jen? All right, so we don't actually have anything to pull up right away, do we? So we're getting into this bankruptcy stuff. All right, they had some sort of meeting today, and I admittedly did not even try to attend that because I knew you were gonna have to explain it to me anyways. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it went pretty fast. I didn't time it out per se, but I mean I think it was like 15 minutes, and it's pretty like standard stuff that they do. They just basically say, we used to call it an estoppel, like you are who you say you are because you say you are, right? These things that you are saying are true are because you say they're true. You're testifying, you're saying that I mean, like there's lies right out the gate. Okay, so let's just get to it. She's first they asked Jan her name, which of course is not Jan, but whatever. I'm gonna stop.
I keep forgetting three fucking names.
I'm trying to not get hung up on it as much as I do.
Which one is her stage name?
She's got more names than me.
Jan Black.
Oh,
but
okay.
She said to the guy that her name was Elizabeth Ann Naylor Owens, which might be true. I don't know. Whatever.
I think that is her real name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably is. Oh, Robin wants to see my shirt, and I don't mind showing it. I don't want to create an issue here, but it says "Girls will be girls," and it's witches, and it's my favorite shirt right now.
I love bitches.
Me too.
That's why when ladies do astrology and stuff, I just let them.
What?
That's why.
Exactly. Okay. I like the whole I've been to Salem. I love it. It's cool. Anyway.
I've been to a place called Hell. I don't know if that counts for anything.
There's the Hell, Michigan.
It wasn't in Michigan. It was in the Caribbean. But I'll make my way to that one too, probably.
So today we had this meeting, and like I said, right out the gate, what is your name? And have you lived here for 2 years, etc., like boring stuff. And then he asks her if all the information in her application for bankruptcy is accurate. Yep.
That's a really broad question.
You seem to find some intrigue in that.
And then he breaks it down, Is your income accurate? Are your debts listed accurate? The property you own, is that accurate? True and correct, I think is the word he said. And I'm like, thank God I'm on mute right now because nope. I mean, I know how to be professional, but still. Are there any changes? Or do you anticipate any changes to the documents you filed? No, I don't believe so.
Did anyone mention the $150 of income from the horse show?
Right. Oh, guys, wait, it gets worse.
I mean,
So,
we walked through that document, right? I'm just for some context here. We walked through that document, right? And there were a lot of places where there were numbers that maybe there were entries in the form that didn't have any information, or there were things that maybe weren't checked that you thought should have been checked. There were dates missing. Maybe there were numbers that didn't seem right based on other forms that we had seen. So you're saying all these things are kind of like, the correct answer is, look, we went through a first pass and did our best, but there's probably things that need to be updated or completed properly, or et cetera, right? That's the correct answer?
yes.
And would it be okay to go to this meeting and say that?
Yes, absolutely. I think they would expect it, right? Like there's very few circumstances when you're going to know the exact amount of dollars and interest and pennies that your credit card is going to cut you off at on the day it cuts you off, right? So you can't do that kind of math. It's impossible. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's programs that do it, but who wants to do that kind of work? You do your best estimate of all the information that you're aware of, and it's pretty clear. I won't skip ahead, but I mean, it's all Jan, right? Like Jan runs the house. That's the deal. So it's just interesting because there were some significant, I know we have some hindsight now because the claims from all the creditors, not all of them, but most of them, the ones that are going to file claims, have been filed. There's 30 creditors that have filed information that is, I would say, more than 50% different than what Jan, had listed. And I say 50% of those creditors listed amounts that are significantly different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And some she didn't include. I mean, she didn't include her taxes that aren't paid, right? That aren't even filed. She didn't include that, but she didn't say anything about, oh, I need to fix this or that.
Now, these creditor reports and the reports about the taxes and everything, I mean, is that something somebody in this meeting is going to bring up, or did they bring it up? Like, or is that somebody's job to bring that up? Like, what's the process here?
It's kind of like, this is just basically perfunctory meeting, again, basically putting your verbal testification, that's not the right word, testimony, I don't know, on the record that the paper documents you filed are accurate and that you filed them. Nobody did it for you. Nobody, whatever. Nobody's controlling you or anything like that. It's you. And that you want to proceed based on this information, right? So it's not typically a long drawn out meeting. I mean, it can be. There's times where creditors can show up and start objecting immediately, but they still have, say, 28 to 30 days, I can't remember the exact day number, after this meeting to file their objections. And if Sourdough Reen's in here, she's going to know. But
wait, who gets to file objections?
Any creditor really can file.
Okay. So the creditor, so if I'm a creditor and they owe me $100,000 and they put $20,000 on this form, I can file an objection saying, look, they put 20K, I've got 100K over here. Here's a red flag.
You'd file a claim saying so, like, look, this is the correct amount they owe me, because you need to do that for your own business practices, right? To be able to write something off, you have to legitimize it. But also, let's say $80,000 was charged up on the card a month before they filed. Yeah, that's an objectionable item that you can say, hey, I don't want this plan. These people have done this to me. Maybe they've done it to other creditors, but I don't want this plan approved.
Yeah.
When they went out and spent $80,000 right before they filed, that's not cool. Or even like we saw with the state of Arizona filing an objection because the taxes aren't filed.
Yeah.
Their income taxes are the majority of that amount. It's a small business tax, but
okay, so this was just to say, hey, petitioners, Jan and Ron, do you want to proceed with what we have so far, is it all correct? You're not doing this under duress? And then the objections will follow, and the dotting the I's and crossing the T's and all the math will follow, I guess.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I believe it's either 28, 30 days that they have to, all the creditors have to file their objections. And I mean, you're not going to see like a lot of objections because it would be a bit of a waste of the court's time. They're not going to deny an entire bankruptcy over a care credit account that had $500 on it, or how much it was, $9,000 on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if the mortgage companies start chiming in, or high value credit card companies start chiming in, or I don't know, her brother.
There could be some big corrections here, right?
Yeah. So like what they do is they give you, then this gives you time to fix some things, right? So I'll just go into it real quick. He asked her about the taxes, and she said that she hasn't filed them yet because she hasn't filed her 23 and 24 tax returns yet, because when she filed this bankruptcy on August 14th of 25, all of her credit card companies shut down her online accounts. Like they basically said, you can't log in anymore. And she probably has some business expenses she wants to include, right? And she can't get those records because apparently she also did not keep statements over time, like you should if you run a business.
Why not tax returns in 2023? That's pretty old, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's another excuse, right? Like, it's not my fault. I was gonna do it, but then it's not my fault. These credit card companies, locked me out of my account, and I can't go back and get statements that I should have already had.
Why would they do that? I don't understand. So if I had like a Chase credit card and I ran up a huge bill and didn't pay it, why would they lock me out of my online statement?
I can see if they closed your account, right? If they froze it and close it, they maybe don't want you logging into it.
Froze it and close it. I mean, they could freeze me from using the card, right? But I should be able to go get my statements and see my balance and potentially log in and pay their bill.
Right. I don't think I've ever had an account where, even if it was a closed account or something like that, I don't think I've ever had a situation where I couldn't log in and view the bill.
Is that a normal thing that would happen to somebody, that they would be locked out of like their Bank of America or Chase or Visa, MasterCard, whatever it is, account, website?
Yeah. So my good buddy Sourdough Reen, who is now my new BFF.
Oh, okay. They send you to collections and close your account. So she needs to talk to collections to get the information. She needs to file her taxes.
I'm positive there's a way to get the information. I'm positive of that, right? Like
that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out.
It's probably a lot of work, right? But I mean, we're talking about, I don't know what she only claimed, like 2 credit cards or business cards, which is a lie. Of course, we know that. But
how long does it usually take for them to send you to collections?
Filing bankruptcy, like it triggers the same response in their system. Okay. You're in collections, so you don't work with us anymore. You talk to the attorney, basically.
So that doesn't happen until after you're already in bankruptcy? Or?
Well, I mean, it's either or. So, I mean, you can go to collection at any point if you're not paying, right? And it's the same process. If you go to collection, they stop your account activity on their end, right? And then they send you to, I don't know, what's the name of the collection company? Ross Collection. And
I have so much to learn. It's like, I have no idea.
Bankruptcy, they do the same thing. They close it out in their system. And just in case, because I mean, they don't want an employee raising a credit limit or something stupid, because they don't. So anyway, the bankruptcy will trigger that same response in their system, so that you can't log in and fiddle around in your account, so to speak, I guess. I mean, I didn't know that either, but apparently that's what happens. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about, she had two accounts, I think, that she said were business accounts. So it's weird that, anyway, I'm not going to try to get inside her head, because it's maddening. But she said that was the reason. Again, it's frustrating. Like, every response is frustrating, because that's not a reason that you shouldn't have your bank statements for business purposes, your records, like your actual statement from the card company, right? You should have it downloaded, especially if you run a business that relies on that. There's no accounting going on in the businesses this way.
That's exactly where I was going. If you couldn't log into your account, how are you supposed to get your statements to do accounting? And if they send it to collections, presumably you can get it that way, or there's other ways to get it.
Yeah.
Or, the time frame we're talking about, like Lauren said, is old enough where she should have just had all that stuff anyway.
Well, and here, what is it? The end of October, and we filed this bankruptcy application in the middle of August. They have done nothing to figure this out until now. Like, besides the fact that everybody has talked about it, so they can't, and I'm sure their attorney told them too, you have to find, here's the thing, from what I understand, a drop dead deal breaker for filing bankruptcy and getting it approved at Chapter 13 is you have to have your taxes filed. The government is not going to waive their ability to collect from you.
Interesting.
Right. So you have to file your taxes. You can and will be denied for your bankruptcy if you don't file your taxes. So they should have been working on it.
Okay. And which taxes weren't filed? Federal or state or both?
Sounded like both. Which I was a little surprised by, but it sounded like both in the meeting, because we didn't see a federal tax claim. However, those types of claims have an extension of time. I think they have until like January or February even or it's late. They have a long time to file their claim. So, because it's the government, so they always give them extra time. So, we could still see a federal tax claim on this bankruptcy. And like I said, from the sounds of it, that is what happened. That was state and federal that is not filed. That's what I took it as watching the hearing, 23 and 24. Yeah.
And they got to get both of those figured out and cleaned up before there's any hope of, you said Chapter 14?
Yeah, 13. Yep.
13. What about
I don't even think it's 7. I don't think any kind of bankruptcy.
Any of them. So even because wasn't there a motion to move them from 13 to 7 and
yeah, I think they'd still have to file.
But they would still need to do that. Okay, that's
remedy
interesting.
Can you explain the difference between those two again for me? Because I forgot.
13 is where you try to pay back your creditors as much as possible, and you get some exemptions, larger exemptions, I guess, and special exemptions to keep your house and make payments towards it. So this is actually a good point to bring up, and I'm sorry I'm off track already, but it's happening. Their house. The first mortgage company has 1.6 million in back, like regular loan and plus what they owe backwards. That wasn't the right way to say it, but you get me. It's a total claim of like 1.68 million, I think. Anyway, the second mortgage company has $200,000. Okay, so we're talking about, let's say 1.8 million. Let's just round even. Just this week, I think it was this week, their second mortgage company filed a stipulation that they agree that the value of the house is only 1.45 million, and that if Jan and Ron complete their bankruptcy plan, if it gets approved, so all the stars have to align, it has to get approved. They have to make their payments, no hiccups, nothing happens in the meantime. They don't sell, refinance, nothing, right? And they complete their plan in full. They make all 60 payments. Over that period, the second mortgage company is agreeing to release their lien, which is wild, but it is what banks agree to. And I mean, in this case, I don't love it because it's Owens, but honestly, I mean, if you're going to lend to people without any real good documentation about what the value of the property you're securing is,
sure,
shame on you too.
Yeah.
So what was my point to that? Oh, sorry.
You good? No worries.
13 versus 7.
Yeah. So in a 13 case, that's how you would proceed, right? In a 7, and I may be a little bit wrong on this, but I'm going to ask for confirmation. In a 7, it's like a fire sale. They want to sell as much as possible so that they can pay those debts.
Okay.
Instead of giving you time to pay off and make right and do what you got to do. Now, let's be clear. The Owens are only going to be able to pay that first mortgage in this bankruptcy, in this Chapter 13. They don't have any other money. They don't even really have the money to pay the mortgage, to be honest.
I mean, they don't have the money to pay for a lot of things they're paying for. That's confusing, you know? So
yeah, it's insane to me.
So confusing.
It's wild to me. So yeah, in Chapter 7 is a liquidation. Thank you. Great. So they keep only exempt assets, right? Which means they would still have to make the house payment, the first one, and they'd have to complete. No, they wouldn't have to complete their plan. Okay. They might still be able to get the second mortgage stripped and wiped out, but it's a whole thing. I mean, it's not easy to meet these standards that have to be met in the context that we see the Owens financial situation, right? Like right out the gate, I'm gonna say this and she's gonna love me for it. They're over the debt limit. Like they already have too much debt to even be in a Chapter 13, but somebody has to object and say that. So we'll see if that happens. Yeah, it's really weird.
So you're saying they can do it if nobody objects?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know, because honestly, there's so much stuff that happens procedurally that doesn't quite match up with what the law says always. So it's really hard to figure out, if I'm being very honest. And yeah, they do vary by state, and there's income limits and what can be exempted and what can't be. And it's like, it's complicated, even though it's a federal case, it's complicated because there are intricacies that depend on what area or state you're in, right? Like in Michigan, there's 2 bankruptcy courts. There's one on the east side of the state and one on the west side of the state.
Oh.
It's just different.
Okay.
But I don't think
jurisdictions or something like that.
Yeah, it is. And so, I mean, there could be variances for that as well. And I know I'm getting really into the nerdy words, but
yeah. There's a good question in chat. Is this their first bankruptcy that you know?
As far as we know, yeah. I don't find anything prior. And they did ask that question. He asked that question in the hearing, and they both said it was their first. So 92 different bankruptcy jurisdictions in the US. Okay. That's a lot. So I don't see how this gets approved because I don't think they can afford it, but we'll see. I don't know. The trustee has an incentive to approve this bankruptcy because he gets paid to handle it, to handle their money for a little while, for 5 years. So I'm gonna make like $90,000 doing this.
Did they get paid based on success? Is it like they get paid more if it's successful and less if it falls apart?
Yeah, because it's for every payment they make each month, the trustee gets a little bit of that. So the more payments they make, right?
Okay, so the trustee is incentivized to get it done smoothly and presumably correctly.
Which is my biggest hope, because it's definitely not correct.
Not right now.
Yeah.
But we're still, you said we're still in the month or 2 waiting period of objections. So
yeah,
we'll see.
We still have
how that goes
for things to play out. And I think we will see some activity like we have already. I think we'll see more, you know, hopefully it's not just it was a little like maddening after the hearing today, because I was like, this is just going to go easy peasy and they're going to be fine. And then I started really like analyzing what the guy said and how he asked his questions. And I'm like, I wonder if he's just not interested because he doesn't think it's viable. So he's just like, check his boxes and moving on. That's really, if you think about it, what's probably more likely to be happening. Because he definitely knew about us, right? Like he knew there was a lot of people there. He knew why, because of course Jan had to say something, but anyway,
of course,
keep her gaping mouth shut. But
And this was the judge was.
It was a trustee.
The
So
trustee
he's kind of like
was very procedural.
hall monitor, I guess. Yeah, yeah. He's the guy that basically like coordinates everything.
Yeah.
And makes sure that everything, it's all being followed. Because the attorney is working for them. They're, they're incentivized. So the trustee is supposed to be like independent, looking at everything and deciding what's best for the creditors in this situation, and making sure that the plan is based on their best interest.
Yeah, in these hearings, he may just be handling it with this sort of fragile, careful attitude in order to make sure that there's things don't fall apart. There's no reason for additional litigation. There's no animosity before there has to be, or anything like that, right? I can imagine they might be doing that as a protective mechanism.
I also think that, they're not necessarily supposed to appear biased or even be that way, right? So I don't think if I was a trustee, I wouldn't want to appear like I'm being influenced by anything outside of, right? So I think there's just multiple factors that go into it, and I feel better about it having some time away from the end of the call.
We got a couple people bringing this up. Hang on. Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $2. GoFundMe. What GoFundMe?
Didn't ask about it.
Asking, when do you think the GoFundMe will get addressed, or will it just not matter?
I don't know how it doesn't get addressed, but somebody has to bring it up. Now, I believe that the trustee will, if nobody else does.
Sure.
Because they can, and it is something they should definitely bring up and address and file a motion on, right? But nobody brought it up today, which was also super frustrating. When she said, "Is that all your income, and is it true and correct?" And he said, "Yep." And then, he went into, "Do you have any wills or trusts?" He did ask her if she had an inheritance that she was due, and she said that she was dealing with a probate issue in New Mexico, but it's like 13 years old. No, it's not. Your mom died 14 years ago, but that probate, you just asked for it to be reopened in January. It's not brand new, or it's not old. And also, your brother's a creditor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, selective details that they're leaving out important details.
I know there's some emails and stuff you wanted to go over with the brother, so we'll get to that in just a second. So just real quick, I was hearing a lot about this figure they gave for the income for their podcast. They said it used to make $50,000 a year. Now
the email says that
$17.
Today it was $17 a month. So, because he asked her about that. He asked her about the podcast. He asked her about the Airbnb. He didn't ask her about Quartet. He didn't ask her about Good Luck Shop. I was just like, she told him that she was hoping to file her taxes within a couple of weeks. And he said, sooner's better than later. That she runs the Airbnb, but they can't even make the mortgage. Well, that's a problem too, because that affects whether or not you're going to make your Chapter 13 plan payments. But okay.
Like if at any point in time they were making $50,000 on the podcast, maybe they wouldn't be in this situation. So I just don't believe that is a thing.
And then real quick, I'm going to buzz through the rest. So then Ron comes up and he's asked all the same questions, except for, of course, Janet elaborated on the ones she wanted to. And he did this.
Did he at least get to pick the chair he wanted this time?
Yeah, he did this typical thing where he's like, I don't know. Whatever she says. And she can sign for me. And, it's like, okay, I get it. You're a dude that has no understanding what happens in your house. And you think your wife can sign federal paperwork with your name. Sure. He did DocuSign, and even if she did it for him, I don't totally blame her for that, whatever. But it's just like another thing of the act, right? He was sitting at the dining room table, if anybody wants to know, not in the black chair, not in the other black chair, at the dining room table.
Conversation. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was such a thing. But people were asking about it.
Yeah. sitting in the chair, sitting in the dining room table, and they don't have any vehicles. That's what
There is one in their garage, though, so make that make sense.
Whose car is that in the garage? Maybe that's Laura's.
Didn't ask. Oh, the online smear campaign. Let's go back to the podcast. Sorry, because I circled around that. Yeah, the podcast used to make money until 2 years ago, when the online smear campaign started against us. And then she started to go into it, and he goes, okay, I don't need to know any of that.
Right.
Like, I'm just asking, does it make money now?
Well, she probably knew she had a little bit of an audience, yeah. Maybe it's
just
kind
like,
of performative, but
people always
$17
over-explain.
here. Yeah. For sure. When they're lying, $17 here, $20 there.
I'm sorry, you have a self-help podcast led by a lady who texted a hotline when she thought she was pretend having a miscarriage instead of going to the hospital. I don't think that was ever that lucrative. A self-help podcast from somebody who can't even clean up their room. I don't think so.
And
also, I think those episodes were becoming recycled, or they weren't making new episodes even before any of this Clayton case started. So the temporal correlation doesn't match up with their story, number one. Number two, even if the temporal correlation did match up, I would need her to explain to me how somebody stops a podcast from making money, because I don't know how that works. Okay. If there's news about the story, you would have the Streisand effect and more people would go watch their podcast, right?
Yep.
Or if they were talking about the issues in their podcast, they would get more views. I actually don't know how to stop their podcast from making money. If the podcast is based on sort of this AdSense type, or a podcast where you submit it and then iTunes and Spotify pay you because they insert ads.
Yes.
There's no way I, as a listener of that podcast, can control. I can't control if Dave Neal's podcast makes less or more money. Even if I have 10 friends, I don't know how to do it other than just not listening to it. And if people are not listening to your podcast, that's not really a smear campaign. That's just people who don't want to listen to your podcast. So she hasn't properly connected the logical dots of how she thinks people, or, different people caused this decline in revenue in her podcast. There's no causality. And so I think it's all a red herring.
I mean, there was actually kind of a missed opportunity here, especially in the beginning stages when she's posting a Dropbox on Reddit and shit like that. If you want to make money off your podcast and you're going to act all crazy like that, you could make money like that. You could get people to listen. I probably would listen to it and be like, "Holy shit, check out the crazy chick." Like, I would have listened to it.
Well, even if Laura couldn't have been in the podcast because she's in the litigation, her mom could have gotten another guest host and said, here's why my daughter's right in this case. Here's my podcast series. Dave Neal's covering this case. I don't think anything he's saying is right. I'm going to set the record straight. She could have done all this and just failed to do it.
I don't think she would have even needed a substitute host, because remember when David and Laura went to the PS Creative Studio, they were doing a whole podcast for themselves. So her attorney representation obviously had no problem with her going out and doing shit like that.
Yeah, they never released that though. So
yeah, but that's because they got into that beef with the studio. It wasn't because it was a bad idea legally for her. It was, but her attorney doesn't seem to recognize that. But it was because she was mad at Layla because Laura didn't know how to edit a podcast, even though she's supposedly a self-help podcaster.
The PR, you're correct. You're changing my mind. The PR campaign actually occurred. Like, they went and wrote Medium blogs, right? And Gingras made YouTube videos and Laura wrote Medium blogs. If their case was so compelling, a quote unquote smear campaign should have failed under the burdensome weight of good evidence that they should have put in their medium.com blog or Gingras's YouTube videos. Again, they failed. Their failure should not be blamed on me, the audience member.
Right.
Well, and like I said, it doesn't add up, because that's not, like, it's really kind of shocking how little they understand how things work. because as you said, those are what do they call dynamic ads? You don't have anything to do with that.
I don't really
Right.
understand
Yeah.
ads outside of YouTube. I've never monetized anything on. Well, I like briefly used Twitch, but that doesn't count. So like other than YouTube, I've never done any ads or monetization platforms. So I don't really know how that works, to be honest.
Well, I mean, you're also not claiming all of this shit, right? Like, I mean,
Not yet.
I know, right? We need time. We need time. Yeah, and so yeah, Jen is acting dumb on purpose for sure. She said that Airbnb was for sale, but it's not selling. Well, that's because you have it overpriced, and you know you have it overpriced, and you can't sell it on the conditions that you have it listed for. And it's honestly something that I needs to be reported because it's not proper the way that house is listed. They can't sell it the way they have it listed. It's not okay. It's illegal. But
Wait,
if it just
why is that? Can you?
because they're trying to nesting doll it, right? So they have an agreement, an offer to purchase that property by paying it over time and doing a balloon payment after 5 years, right? They are offering to sell it the same way to another person. You can't do that. You can't have.
This is the Airbnb property?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't sell things you don't actually have ownership to.
Mm.
You know, they don't have ownership of like the physical property and furniture inside that house. The mortgage company has liens on it.
Well,
So
you can have a mortgage that you haven't paid off completely and sell your house.
yes.
And then the proceeds from that through escrow close your mortgage, right?
Okay, so good point. If let's say they sell it to somebody flat out who wants to come in and even, pay cash for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's allowed. They can pay off the seller that they owe and they can take some money that they, the difference between the sales price and whatever they still owe that seller.
Right.
Absolutely. That's a proper transaction that could occur. They cannot sell it as they have it listed, which is on seller financing because they are not a seller in this transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I get frustrated, as you can tell.
When you say listing, you're saying it's listed
For
through
sale.
a realtor?
Yep.
And
It's
wouldn't the
listed for
realtor tell them they can't do this, or?
Don't get me started on realtors.
I mean,
I don't think honestly, it's not even the realtor's job to know that they can't do that a little bit. But I mean,
really?
they also don't know what they're doing a lot of the times.
I mean, every time I've had a realtor, the very first thing they do is they set me up with the financier, and the financier looks at everything and says, here's what you can afford if you're trying to buy a house. Here's how you'll get your money if you're trying to sell your house, etc.
Yep.
So shouldn't that happen here, or is there a missing?
But like a lot of
Step?
things that should happen in the industry, in the real estate industry, don't go the way they should properly go. You've worked with professionals in your past, and there are professionals out there who do know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A large amount of them don't, and it's chaos.
Just shout out to my high quality realtors.
Yeah, for real. Because they own a future interest in that property eventually. They don't have the right to sell it in that same context of, I'm going to let you pay me some money so I can pay him some money every month, right? Because there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
It's almost like they're trying to sublet.
Yeah, the sublet, really. I mean,
oh boy.
Yeah. So
my neighbor's outside to pick something up. We'll be right back.
Okay. So anyway, and don't get me started on Keybacker. Anyway, yeah,
and the Airbnb has nothing to do with the whole Keybacker thing, correct?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, and I don't even think, are Jan and Ron involved in the Keybacker, or is that just Laura and her sister?
It's just Laura and her sister, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It can't. And you have to have like all kinds of licensing and education to do something like that. It doesn't just happen.
But we may learn more about Laura's businesses through the filing that Woodnick recently did in relation to the amount that she owes Clayton, correct?
Right. So this is where the car question will be one of those little things, right? that we maybe get to find out about, because you can't be playing this shell game with it's theirs, it's theirs, it's there, it's here, when you take 2 shells away out of a 3 shell game, right? So it's Ron and Jan's, or it's Laura's. It's a car in the garage.
Yeah.
Gotta be somebody's.
I mean, who knows? It could be the sister, and she
It's
just
the same
leaves
way
it
Laura
there.
says-
I mean, who knows, right?
Right. It's the same way Laura says she's indigent, but she works for her family business and she's got to travel. Well, wait, your family business is a sole proprietorship and they're in bankruptcy. So what? Somebody owns that car. That's right, MG. Somebody owns that car.
Yeah, exactly. It's just we don't know. The answer is I don't know. Now,
And if it's
yeah, I mean, if Laura were to say that's my parents' car, and the parents were to say that's Laura's car, then we would know there's a contradiction. There's a problem here, right?
like we've seen with the LLCs, right? We saw when Laura was in trouble with Clayton's case, and you know, she lost, and the judgments were coming down. You know, we saw her transfer the Liz Max business into Jan's name solely,
Mhm.
right? And we see the horses get transferred over into Quartet Farms name. And we see all this funny business, right? But at some
Yeah.
point, it has to be revealed.
Yeah, I mean, Laura got to that horse show somehow in some car,
That's right.
right?
That lady
She-
just said, yeah.
She was on the Zoom call in a car.
Mhm.
Now, she may not
I
have
think
driven it. It may not be her
there's-
car, but somehow, right?
I don't know if they have it in Arizona. There's some sort of app in Michigan where like regular car owners can rent out their car. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I've seen those things.
I
Yeah.
saw, maybe, who knows? But again, where'd you get the money?
Mhm.
Where'd you get the money for that? I don't know.
Yeah, you
It's-
can do that. Mostly people with RVs do that. Because then
Yeah.
you can rent your RV and people can take it for the weekend or something.
Which that makes sense. That would be something.
Turo is what
like,
Boots says it's
We're
called.
we're in Michigan, so you know we might not get to use our if we had one use our RV all year, so we might rent it out during the winter to somebody who lives down south.
Yeah.
So Turo, yes, thank you. That's it. Right, you said that. Sorry.
Yeah. Who knows?
So-
There's a lot of hypotheses we could come up with.
Yeah. And again, that's where we ended up at the end of this. More questions than answers, of course, and some frustration. But I do believe that there is that people that attention has been paid. I do believe that the efforts that have been made are being received and acknowledged and not dismissed, right? So it'll just take some time probably. And that's frustrating when we've seen 2 years of the other shenanigans already. But no, as I said in my, Instagram post, it's not a cult. It's not online.
I don't know. I've heard otherwise.
Yeah, I know. Oh shoot, I said that right in front of our boss. But I mean,
You're so fired.
we're all just looking to not let some people get away with some pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on with Mike, Greg, and Clayton. It's pretty nasty stuff. And the others who don't want to be named. They don't deserve this. So
there's increasingly this sort of attitude online from people who are like entitled and feel like they have the right to just like shit on people with no consequences, that they take this like victim mentality, like the internet's being like they're smearing me, they're doing all these things. I'm like, no, people are just paying attention to what you're doing and they don't like it. Like with
Right.
Blake, like with Laura, like with, I mean, even in that lawsuit between Drake and Kendrick, Drake was trying to subpoena content creators. I'm like, you can't just like every time somebody criticizes you, you can't just try to scare them out of it. Like you have to accept the consequences of your actions. People don't like what you're doing. It's not a smear campaign. You just have a large,
Yeah.
Where like we don't agree with what you're doing, and it's not. You're not a victim. Okay, if you decide to be a public figure, if you decide to put yourself out there like that, if you reach out to every tabloid magazine in the nation saying Clayton got me pregnant with twins after a blowjob, you don't get to then play the victim when people start paying attention like you asked them to.
Yeah.
Right.
And the solution is not suppression of your opposition. It's better arguments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's all these flat earth videos out there, the solution is to go make a bunch of good globe earth videos about NASA, videos about astronomy, videos about science, and refute the bad claims.
Sure.
Yep.
And then if that crosses the line to strict legal defamation, then you can make that choice to try that.
Right.
But that has a high bar.
Well, that's the thing. And that's why I don't have any problem talking about all this stuff. It's public record. And it's a lot of times your own sworn to words that we're using, and numbers and figures and statements. I mean, it's not I didn't pull these numbers out of my ass, as fun as that might be.
Whoa.
Maybe not fun, but
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I think we're up to 2.8.
Yeah.
Depending on the font, the number 4 is going to be trouble for you.
Sorry, 2.6.
I'm going to pull up these emails. That you want to
Yeah.
A 1 could be easy.
Yeah, 2.6 is where we're at now. There was a $231,000 difference between what they said they owed and what they owed. But anyway, okay. We can go. I don't know that they're in this order. I don't know why he did it this way, but we can go in this order. It's fine.
If you want to move to a different one, okay.
It's fine. This is like, I don't know if these are the only emails he had, but the dates are out of order. But my brain's gonna itch, but I can live with it. So
wait, hang on, because there's only 5 pages. So let me just take a look.
Yeah.
4:15, 12:31. I think it's just in reverse order. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's one.
5.
There's the first one we're gonna see. The
July
short term.
2nd? This one or the one above?
Nope, go up.
Okay.
Go up one more.
Okay, got it.
This one is the very first one that we see in terms of the email. Actually, this might be the first loan. Hold on a second.
So I actually don't understand what's going on here with the brother at all.
Okay. So Jan needed money. I have a funny little story I wrote about it, but I'm not gonna go into that. So Jan needed money, and almost immediately, upon moving to Arizona, she needed a lot of money. And so she came up with these stories to tell her brother about why she needed the money.
And hold on, when they moved to Arizona, this was well before the Clayton case, right?
Well before.
So there's no like smear campaign ruining their lives at this point, or there's no cult ruining their lives.
This is the very first one, actually.
Okay.
Of the ones that October is the first one of 21. So this is I don't want to read it, but somebody can read it for me. But it's dramatic.
You want me to read the email?
Yeah, do you mind?
Yeah, hi Mark and Dale. I hope you guys, this is from Jan. I hope you guys are having a great day. Ron agreed last week to a $60,000 settlement with the station, which will net $40,000 to us. I had expected the money to be paid in a few days, but Ron's attorney says the company has 30 days to pay it, so we may not get it until October 27th. As a result, I wanted to ask if it would be possible for us to borrow $5,000 to $12,000 until the end of the month. That's a pretty big gap. Okay. I absolutely hate asking you for a favor like this, but it would really help. We also have a pony for lease/sale in Southern California for $35,000 to $55,000, and I would expect a deal to be done with her fairly soon. This is just a temporary cash crunch, and I would pay you back as soon as we get the settlement for which the papers have already been signed by both sides. I'm on my way to get my taxes done now, so hopefully we'll get a refund from those as well.
This email is so beautiful in so many ways.
This is a litany of red flags.
For sure. The first thing I said when I was reading it out loud to my husband is 5,000 to 12,000. That's a huge difference in
Oh,
that.
sorry, I missed the last paragraph here. I can't thank you enough for considering this and hope you know that I never wanted to have to ask you for any help like this again. This was not the last time, was it? It's very possible the money will come sooner than the 27th, but I have some bills I'd like to pay without getting late fees. With love and gratitude, Sith.
Yeah.
Seems like they've been in a 4-year temporary cash crunch minimum.
Oh, I mean, I know it goes back farther, but yes, exactly.
Well,
that's the problem,
from the date
right?
of this email.
Yes. Oh, yes,
no.
exactly.
Apparently, the subject matter of this stream, as well as Bruce, inspired this person to try their first buzzball tonight.
No,
so.
I do not recommend those. Oh. There's so much better wine that you can get. Now it is cheap, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. When did they sell the San Francisco house? 2020? I have it in my documents somewhere.
You're the encyclopedia I go to when I need to know that stuff, so don't ask me.
It's in my documents. Oh, actually, I know how to find it really quickly. Yeah. But again, we just bought the house in Arizona at the date of this email. I mean, it was 10 months earlier, but still, I mean, new enough. Like, what? What do you, and what settlement? I'm sorry. I feel like that's a total lie. I could be wrong, but he's getting a pension.
Right.
And that doesn't make sense to me. Unless he had some sort of agreement to keep working for a while and they said, okay, you can't, because that whole buyout weird thing happened, which I guess I thought was in 2018, not 2021. But
well, settlements could take a long time. My thing is your cash flow for living your life should not be dependent upon a settlement.
Exactly. I mean,
at least not at Ron Owens level.
Well, right. Because again, we just sold a house for money. Not that we took anything from it, but
so that's a huge red flag that somehow they're dependent upon a settlement payment to just live their life. That's a huge red flag.
July of 2020. Yes, Wendy, I'm on Discord. You can find me there, same name.
Yeah.
July
and this huge range, 5,000 to 12,000. That's another big red flag. It's so
that's like
arbitrary.
How many bills? Right. Are you just ask? And of course, she took 12,000. She got 12,000. That's in the thing. She got 12,000. So I mean, love you, sis. Whatever. It's all manipulation. Sorry.
Hey, Wendy, what's up? Hang on, let me read these real quick and we'll move on. Jesse Hits, thank you for the $2. Dog ate my homework kind of excuse. Yeah. Cat Lady Ballerina, thank you for the 5. Y'all, the Owens don't do accounting, they just do scamming. That seems to be true. Wendy A, thank you for the membership. Hope it's going well. Haven't seen Wendy in a minute. Well, I mean, I've seen her in the chat, but we haven't talked much. Wheat Toast, thank you for the $10. Oh my God, I've been going through Big Tiff and Moose withdrawals. Thank you for giving me a fix, Lauren. That's what I'm here for. Thank you. I was asked to show these, and I'm going to oblige.
No.
I actually love mine because my hair is very thin, and I love this. Look on me.
I didn't make this, dude. Not mine.
I look like a member of Spinal Tap or something.
You look better here. Hang on.
I look like Dave Grohl's creepy uncle. Now this is a fit.
That's a hottie.
I think she could pick you up at the bar, Lauren. That lady there.
I would be into it.
Maybe
for sure. Love the beer.
There was some fun in there was some fun today with this, and I love it.
Oh my goodness!
We have to keep our sanity somehow.
That's
a
smear campaign. Okay.
That's a smear campaign against me, I think.
Is it a smear campaign if it makes you look hot?
Right.
Glamour shots. I mean,
I'm moving up because the last one on the thing I think is the last email, right? So
yeah, because these are. I mean, if you want to read those ones in between, it's fine. But these are like, the money came. What's the difference in the wording? It's like stuff to me. But we go up to. Keep going up.
Wait, this seems kind of sketchy. I've sent a photocopy of the docs from my phone. I hope you received it. Please let me know if you didn't get it, as I sometimes need to send photos more than once for them to go through from my phone.
What?
Well, your daughter.
A photocopy of docs from my phone. How does that work? Like, what does that even mean?
First
You
of
have
all, there are
something on your
apps.
phone.
Yeah.
Print it and and
Yeah,
then you
we're-
send it. Is it an
We're gonna
email?
read all the emails just to make fun of the boomers.
Did they
I think
send
he
it in
sent her
an
a
email?
note. I think he sent her like a note, promissory note to sign,
Uh-huh.
and she signed it. She printed it, signed it, and it's in here, but we don't need to look at it. And took a picture of it to send back to him to prove she
I don't
signed
know.
it.
I sometimes need to send photos more than once. For this family, seems a little sketch to me. But... Also, please let me know when to expect to see the deposit in the Wells account. Thank you so very, very much.
Come on.
We have a great
Yeah,
day.
hurry up and give me that money, Lauren.
I don't remember seeing any Wells accounts on the
Yeah.
bankruptcy docs.
I'm gonna take a photo of my screen right now. Smile.
Because there are apps that will take a PDF
I
of.
know.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Anyways, moving up.
So yeah.
Hi, Mark and Dale. Hope you guys are having a great evening. Just wanted to let you know that the deposit has posted in my Wells Fargo account, and I will sleep much easier tonight.
Oh boy.
Okay. I didn't know vampires had to sleep. Thank you so very much. You have no idea how much better the holiday season will be for me with this temporary financial cushion. Love and hugs, sis. Hey, I have a question, Tiff. How come their skin doesn't sparkle like the Cullens?
Now,
seriously, long sleeved black turtlenecks in the Arizona heat. How are you still walking on Earth?
Because they're vampires.
That's something for sure.
That's
Now,
a hide from the sun.
did this ever get paid back? I assume it didn't,
No.
because that's why we're looking at it, right?
That's why we're looking at it.
Oh, so this
This one's
temporary
a doozy.
crunch. We're here.
This is a doozy. I don't remember what the
2025.
title of this email was. Is this the temporary?
Another request.
Another
All right.
request. Now, mind you, this is number December. Oh, that's just number 2.
Yeah, I think so. Because the last one came right after this, I guess.
Anyway, we only have emails from a few of them, but this is
Whatever. We got this one and the last one there. Hang on. Hi, Mark and Dale. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm trying to cope with a lot on my plate right now, and unfortunately could really use your help once again financially, as my husband is only getting $22,000 a month. I'm absolutely humiliated to be in a position of having to ask, but I don't know where else to turn and would very much appreciate you considering giving me another loan. I am $3,000 behind in fees due to the storage company that has our household goods in the Bay Area. Ron's $946 life insurance bill is due on the 18th, and his $1,426 bill for long-term care insurance and $1,500 bill for union medical insurance are due as well.
Whoa. That's a lot of bills.
That
You
sounds
think
like a
these are
lot.
not legit, Tiff?
So why are they paying like way less than that now per their paperwork?
exactly because
Yeah.
just like in the last one, I don't think there was that settlement. I think this is all lies.
I'm
You
Why
gotta
do
make
they
sure
need
that
3
someone-
different
Okay, go ahead.
insurance bills?
I mean, because here's the deal. I absolutely believe that they were in a credit crunch of that avalanche of credit cards that they had open, right?
Okay.
That they probably couldn't keep on top of. But that's not
I'm gonna answer my phone real quick.
pulling
I'll
at
be right
the
back.
heartstrings. That's not pulling at the heartstrings about medical and co-insurance or whatever, long-term. Like it's not pulling at your heartstrings when you say
Yeah.
I have $500,000 in credit card debt.
Right. But
Gotta stay
I
on
get all that. My question is, would it be
Sorry.
legit for somebody like Ron Owens to have 3 different healthcare insurance bills like this?
I don't see how. I
It
don't
just
see
makes
how.
sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. When you retire and you
Mhm.
go on your pension, your plan is your plan. I don't think it gets better over time. I think it I could be wrong. I
Mhm.
could be wrong. I don't have documentation proving it, but it's odd numbers.
Well, one is
and
life insurance, and then
yeah,
there appear to be 2 related to healthcare.
I do believe life insurance went up. I do believe that. Oh, wait a minute. This is interesting though. They were paying for long-term care insurance.
Mhm.
They have a item on their bankruptcy for long-term care. They have like $25,000 that they owe to a long-term care facility, a rehab facility. So maybe it was a claim that got denied. Who knows? I don't know. I can't make sense of them
Could be
sometimes.
related to this. Okay, so if one is a life insurance and the other two are healthcare related, I could almost see this being legit. But I mean, it's a lot, but
Yeah, 3,000 behind in fees to the storage company that has our household goods. I mean, okay. A $5,000 bill for a biopsy he had. Okay, I'll just pick up where she left. I'll pick up. Where did she but I don't know where else to turn, and then she went into the amounts, right? Ron's 946 life insurance is due on the 18th, which this is like 3 days before that, but okay. 1426 bill for long-term care, $1,500 bill for union medical insurance is due as well. I'm fighting a $5,000 bill for a biopsy he had, which was regrettably performed at an out-of-network lab. Now, that can happen. It's frustrating, and it can happen. My husband and I just had this conversation. I don't think they should be allowed to do it that way. But anyway, if you go to a in-network provider and they pull your labs, they shouldn't run them through an out-of-network lab. But anyway, I'm also doing battle with USCF over $1,000 medical bill, which our insurance covered and paid for, but which UCSF contends was taken back. Okay, let them sue you. Who cares? I'm hopeful of resolving things out that money.
Yeah, these last two.
Just because they want it doesn't mean you have to give it.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean they've paid it or they need to pay it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So these don't make sense to me.
No.
The health insurance one does. I don't know why they have this long-term one. I don't know why they have such huge life insurance. Those to me are a little sketchy, but the other thing is I don't know. We had talked about these storage company fees persisting beyond this point in time. Why is it you move and you just leave your stuff in storage? That's no good.
I told you about my pole barn idea. Like, we have them here. You build a huge barn on your well-equipped property. I mean, it can handle it size-wise. And you shove all your stuff in there. I mean, that's what we do in the Midwest. I can't do it down
Or
there.
get rid of all that stuff. I mean,
that too. If you don't need it, if you haven't needed it now, we're on year 4, 5.
There's that old rule, like if you move and you haven't unpacked something within a year, you should just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's costing you a huge amount of money, let alone just sitting in your basement or your garage.
Right. Like, and especially if you're in bankruptcy and you need to.
So I think this all is very consistent with extreme overspending, extreme mismanagement of money, regardless of whether these bills are legit or not. It just is consistent with that pattern of behavior we've seen.
Yep. Yeah. And again, it sounds really awful. It sounds like she's in a really bad position of no fault of her own, of course. And she just needs a little help to get her through. So she says, I'm hopeful of resolving things in my favor in those two cases, but not sure when that will happen. In the meantime, I have other expenses due. Here we go. Vet bills and some medical/psychiatric expenses for Laura. And money is tighter than ever.
That psychiatric bill for Laura is going to be way higher than that.
They should have, they probably should have upgraded that plan, maybe. I don't know, back then. But anyway, that's hindsight.
But let's go ahead and let Laura go after, Sean Roanhouse and destroy his life, whatever.
And Greg and Clayton.
Yeah. Right. I'm just saying in the context of this date frame. But yes. She was already suing Greg by now, too. So, yeah.
Was she? I think Greg, wasn't Greg like the year after? Or the year after? I don't know.
This is December of 21. Yeah. Didn't Greg start in April?
It was December of 21.
The summer of 21, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get lost in the dates sometimes.
I just meant beyond this point in time.
2 years into Clayton's. So I'm like, okay, so Clayton's was in 2023. So I keep thinking 2 years before that. And I'm like, okay, so it was 2023 for him. No, we've been in this for a long time.
Yeah.
I keep getting confused.
I know. You think of Greg being 2 years ago. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, wow.
Yep. Yeah. That's funny. People are pointing out the grammatical errors in this Peabody Award-winning writing.
Yeah. But sorry, I had to cut out for a second. This really nice woman named Caitlin, she's a travel agency, reached out to me when she found out I was trying to go back to San Francisco, and so she's helping me get a room for real cheap. So
Nice.
I had to pick up the phone. Real quick, so.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet lots of all kinds of people through this, so it's nice when people do their whatever they can to help. So
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Our community is pretty cool, I would say. So then she goes into, after money is tighter than I'd like, a pony. Oh God, I swear, like sometimes these are like reading Laura's text. A pony that we have for sale left at 5 o'clock this morning for a trial for a potential lease or sale. We're receiving $5,000 to send her on trial for a month. If the people who have her on trial, I don't know why we have to say trial 14 times, decide to buy her, we'll receive another $41,000 after commissions. Interesting. So use a broker, huh? If they lease her, we'll get $20,000. I'm also anticipating several thousand in medical insurance reimbursements, which have been delayed since September. And we have a pending legal action against the contractor of our property that I would expect will result in a
there you go.
There he is. It's all a money grab.
And here's the funny thing about this. She sued him for $150,000. This email proves Jan fucking knew it wasn't going to be $150,000.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I'm getting angry, Tiff, again, but I'm physical reaction to it because they knew.
Yeah.
They sued him for $150,000, which is ridiculous and terrifying for a small business owner, right?
Yeah. This is crazy. The other pattern I'm noticing, if I put on my Jack Fox hat, is in this email and the other one. Whenever she talks about money she's getting, it's all speculative. It's all, we may sell this horse or this pony and get money. We might get some medical reimbursements. It's none of it's guaranteed. It's not real cash flow. It's speculation.
Yep.
And that's very, I don't know. It's disingenuous. I don't know if it reeks of like fraud, right? I don't want to.
So to me,
I don't know if it is, but it smacks of that style of manipulation.
Yep. And to me, it sounds like, like I watch a lot of court, and you see a lot of defendants on there saying, I promise this is going to be I'm going to do right this time. I'll appear in court next time. I'll do it this time. Like that's what this comes off as. It's not genuine to me.
Yeah. Everything's in the future. I'm fighting the bill. I'm doing the battle. We're doing the trial.
Why are you paying bills that you don't owe? I mean, you always negotiate. And if you're going to pay something, pro tip, pay them $5. Their little oath doesn't let them send you to collections if you pay them $5. That's a rumor I heard. I don't know if it's true. But
oh boy.
But why are you paying?
I've kind of done that with medical bills. So.
No, thank you. I just don't. Why are you paying it? Let it play out. I don't know.
Right.
I have more thoughts. I'm gonna try. We got more
you
paragraphs.
You do not have to censor or filter yourself or in any way. You can just go on.
I know. Well, so there's something that you can't see on the redacted version that I do want to bring up. So when her brother's attorney, who's I have on good source, a very good law firm, filed all this 78 pages, the emails were highlighted.
They were what?
They were
highlighted.
What?
They were highlighted. There are highlights in these emails. So like some medical / psychiatric expenses for Laura is highlighted.
Yeah. Okay.
In this email.
Oh my. By her brother's attorney?
I don't know if it was how he received it. I don't know if he did it. It's
how
very
old was Laura
interesting.
in 2021? She was what, 31?
Yeah. It's very interesting that section was highlighted with some other pieces. Like, I don't know his rhyme or reason to highlighting it, but doesn't have anything really to do with the money.
Jen says, I just looked it up. Laura's first horse show with, and how do you guys say this again? Is it Sirocco?
Sirocco is how I say him. I don't know if that's right.
Okay. was October 21st, 2021 open, so she probably got him around then.
Oh, during the first loan, the 12,000.
Okay.
Checks out.
Sure.
Had enough money to buy.
I just need a little loan to help with these medical bills. I'm gonna buy another pony, bitch. Sorry.
Why are they paying their 31-year-old child's vet bills and medical expenses if they're in if they're in a poor cash flow position? Like, I can understand.
Stop animals.
I can understand if they were doing very well and had plenty of cash sitting around. Okay, I'll help my kids out, but that's not where they are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not where they are. It's not where they haven't been there since at least the early 90s, and probably not even then, to be honest, but maybe, whatever. Okay. I just thought that was very interesting. I don't know if you want to show my screen, but that's that's highlighted, and then I'll point out the other parts that are highlighted. But anyway, we're going down to we did the pony additionally. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I'm with you.
We're starting at additionally, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Additionally, Ron and I have combined income of about $19,000 a month in pension and Social Security. That's fucking insane, by the way. Do you know what I could do with $19,000 a month? Oh my god.
And that probably didn't sound like a lot to her brother, but that's just funny to me.
No, I would just like throw half of that at people that I like. That's what's so crazy to me. I'm like, if I had that much money coming in every month, oh my god.
They also had $50K from the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot about that. We also have the podcast, which is earning decent money from advertisers, $50,000+ this year. Who are your sponsors? Condom companies, and which we expect to do even better next year. I plan to look into the possibility of another home equity loan on our property, although I'm concerned about qualifying since Ron is no longer working. If you have that much money coming in, what's your fucking problem? Anyway, I hate to plug you. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's not a factor. It's not his employment. If he has income, that's what matters. They don't care if you're physically working.
Yeah, it's a home equity loan. They care about the equity you have.
Dude,
or faked.
I don't understand people who have this kind of money coming in who behave like this, and like I just can't imagine, like I said, having that amount of money coming in, and like I would live within normal means, you know, and then just like do whatever the hell I wanted to like be happy. Like I can't imagine having all that money, screwing around with all of it, and then ending up bankrupt. I don't know how you even managed to do that.
And literally, like,
unless your daughter pokes holes in condoms and then goes to court with guys who just
writing this kind of email
on her back.
That's what we're trying to figure out. I mean, I think between the litigation expenses, the horse hobby expenses, and if there's any sort of gambling issue or overspending issue, that could explain all of this if you put it all together. But
the gambling is probably the gambling is probably I mean, and that's what Rich alluded to at one point, I believe, the gambling and stuff. I don't know how much he said about it, but speaking of Rich, you guys remember Rich? You know, people have been asking about him. I haven't heard from him in a bit. I just texted him actually.
Oh, right on.
Oh, wait, hang on. He just texted me back. Rich had spinal surgery, guys.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, so he just texted me back. He said, I had spinal surgery. I'm still in the hospital, but I did good. Please tell everyone I'm sorry and I need bagels and locks. I'm at Alta Bates Hospital, Berkeley, 6th floor. I miss you guys, and I'm fresh as air. I think he needs us to send him like flowers and bagels, guys.
Yes, maybe. It sounds like it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Rich. Right.
Yeah. We'll have to update everyone in the Discord but people have been asking about him. He's been out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he was having spinal surgery. Jesus. I just thought he got a cease and desist.
I thought maybe he like got, you know, pneumonia or a sickness, you know, the flu or something, or
but
it's been a while.
There's a nasty strain of COVID going around over there too, in California. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And think about that. I'm writing down.
All right.
Yeah,
hopefully he's doing all right then.
I'm glad that he's okay. I just had no idea. Like he said he had some personal stuff going on. I thought that meant more like social stuff. I didn't realize he meant like, by the way, they're gonna do some shit to my spine. You know what I mean? So,
no, I figured when he the last thing he had on Twitter, I figured it was probably something medical related. Didn't want to bug him about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still crying about my poor leg. I can't imagine your spine. Ooh. I drove a car yesterday. Drove my car finally. Woo. Still not pretty walking around, but I'm getting around.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
so I'll go ahead. Anyway, I hate to flood you with all of these details, do you? But hope you can understand why I'm feeling anxious about all of this. If Ron had received the entire 60,000 settlement from KGO, I wouldn't be in this position. I'm going to hold
You
the
make that in 3 months. Sorry.
And
So-
again, your cash flow shouldn't depend on a settlement, and it's also a speculative settlement. It's like vaporware, right? They're basically trying to look ahead to things that might happen and base their current financial situation on those things that have not happened yet, like selling a goat or whatever, or getting this settlement. It doesn't make sense. You cannot operate cash flow that way.
Pay every month. What the fuck do you mean you're? Oh my god.
we had a family member do this kind of thing, saying, "Oh, if he hadn't had his heart attack, I wouldn't be in this position." Like, but you would, because we know you. So okay,
Yeah,
sure.
it's this bargaining. It's this rationalizing. That doesn't matter when you go to math. Math only cares about the real money that's actually there.
And just, I mean, live within your means for a month might make a huge difference. 1 month. Anyway, I wouldn't be in this position. In years past, he and I would have worked together to find a solution. However, since he's not working, he's retired and having some cognitive issues, it's up to me. Okay, because he was so involved in finances
I
before.
find that really interesting. They would have worked together to find a solution. What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's nonsense to me. I don't attribute it to anything besides sympathy. A way to bring that he has a cognitive issue happening in his life. That's what it is.
It's a very big non sequitur red flag to me, because
The
I don't
man,
understand why you would find a solution working together, quote unquote, where you can't have a solution now.
when the trustee asked him if he signed his name today, the man looked at her like a deer in headlights. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't cognitive. It was a guy who doesn't know what's going on in his house. It is very common.
Yeah, he's not in charge of the finances. He's completely hands off.
Right.
And
So
he's just assuming that it's all going.
So I call bull crap on this.
Well, I'm also, I'm not
it's
in
going.
charge of the finances in my house either. I live alone, but
Me either.
The
No, I-
Wovloves take care of the finances.
absolutely the Furbies and the Wovlove.
Oh.
Occasionally my dog.
So, however, since he's not working, I would very much appreciate another loan of 13,000. Well, at least it's not arranged this time, if that's at all possible. See, it's all these okay. Please understand, I don't want to put you in a position that would cause any issues for you at all. Why do you think it would? Sounds like you already know. I don't want this request to add stress to your relationship or your financial picture. Sounds like it already has. You've already been incredibly generous with your resources, and for that I will always be deeply grateful until I sue you for the rest of our mother's money. I can't thank you enough for even reading and considering this. And if you have any other ideas, I'd love to hear them. This bitch took 3 more loans after he gave her this one.
From
3 more.
the same guy?
Yes. Hold on.
I mean, here's some life advice from a moose. If you give someone some money, whether that's in a GoFundMe or you Venmo them some money, or you do one of these things that they're doing here, you should just assume that you are never getting that money back. You should be 100% okay, baseline, if you are gifting someone that money and they are going to do with it whatever they please. It may be the thing they said they were going to do in the GoFundMe. It may not. We don't know. You just have to be okay. If you are not okay with that, do not give that money away.
I think I agree with you 100%. In this case, I think there are caveats only because they hadn't sold mom's house yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were renting it out for a long time. And so mom's trust and everything still had money coming in and out of it. But then, so what I think his thought was, I'll help her out. And then when the house sells, I'll make sure I get my money back out of that. Right. Unfortunately, that's not how the real world works. And there are IRS reporting rules for title companies, and you can't just pay money to any given person when you sell a house. You have to pay it to the seller.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think he just didn't realize he was hurting himself in that aspect. But I think he was trying to use the best financial option to make sure he was going to get paid back. And I really do hope it hasn't caused stress, and because I feel like he probably genuinely, like, there's a lot of things I say people do that are dumb and don't make any sense, but like I can see where his thought process was on this. And I mean, I do things that are dumb and don't make sense. I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying it happens. But like, he loaned her 12,000, 13,000. This is 13. Then another 20 in a month later.
Mhm.
A month later.
Oh boy.
And 6 months after that, 10,000.
Mhm.
And I don't know, 5 months after that, 10,000.
So what does this all add up to? Is it 75K or something around there?
It's
Or
60,
65?
I think 65 plus interest. The interest is about 9,000.
Okay, so we're between 65 and 75K at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, okay, his math is weird on all of these documents. If somebody has looked at it and figured it out, please tell me. But my brain does not work the way they have this set up.
Sure.
And he and I believe him. I'm not saying he's wrong. His math is just not the way I would do it.
Mhm.
So he says his total amount that he is owed is $136,700 because she did take some money out of an account
Mhm.
that was in their mom's name. She actually took all the money out of the account. It was only $4,400, but she took his half too. So she owes him that. And then they split up some property and other things. And I think she got more than she was supposed to get because obviously she didn't get her loans back. He didn't get his loan money back. So like there's this whole unequalness going on in that handling of that estate.
Yeah.
That maybe he's responsible for part of it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But
So
it
you're
seems
saying
pretty detailed.
you're saying we're at 65 to 75 plus 2.5K or 2.5 to 4K based on these emails and that
Mhm.
account, and then there's a disputed 50K or so on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cash advances or something. I don't know. It's the way he has it listed. Some sort of cash advances. And I don't know. It's odd to me the way he
Well,
has it listed.
you know,
But yeah, it's about
the lawyers can figure it out, I guess.
50. Yeah, they can do that. Exactly. That's for them to figure out. It's just not the way. Like if I'm setting up a closing statement for a sale of a property, I go, okay, here's the sale price, and here's everything that comes out of it, and here's what you get at the end.
Debts
Like,
and
that's
credits,
math.
line itemed.
Yeah, that's my
That's
kind of
what a
math.
title company does. Exactly.
Right. Exactly. That's my kind of math. That's what I know.
Yeah.
It's different. Like this whole sheet I'm sure it makes sense in his head. It doesn't make sense in mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we've got this loan from July of 22, which I think maybe is the last one.
Thank you
July 22.
for doing the loan yesterday. It helped more than you can imagine. I was feeling like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, and that certainly eased it. I am so looking forward to paying you back soon.
And this is important because it's not the last one, it's the second to last one. And
Sure.
after this loan, a mere 3 months later, they got a large amount of money in mortgages. They got an extra $600,000 in equity off of their house.
Wow.
Never paid Mark back, never
But they
paid
didn't
Mark
pay
and Bill
him
back.
back. Yeah.
Right. And then took more money from them after that. 3 months after that. After they had $600,000 in their hands. What?
I mean, even if it's not literal gambling, like taking that money and betting it on horses or betting it on football or whatever, this whole speculative chasing a podcast,
Yeah.
chasing this horse selling business, chasing these LLCs, in a way that itself is like gambling on a business. And
Yep.
They're not managing their cash flow while they're doing these very risky moves, which to me feels like a form of gambling, even if it's not the kind where you go to Vegas and put money on the table.
That's what I thought about it today. Like in terms of an addiction, it's like an addiction to the horse stuff. Like
Mm.
it's different kind of, like, if it's not gambling, it's an addiction to something else.
Mhm.
This chasing, right? We're chasing payoff
Chasing
in
the
the horse.
lifestyle. Mhm.
Right, exactly. We're chasing horses. We're chasing business adventures that apparently we have a lot more power to control than anybody else would give us credit for. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
I'm blown away when you line these up with the mortgages.
Right.
Because again, so the last one was in February of 23. They got another mortgage. That's when they put Sarah and Christian on in a few months later. I want to say March or April of 23.
That's crazy.
And then they refinanced again and took out another HELOC in May and June of 24.
Fuck.
Supposedly on a house that was worth, supposedly 15 months ago, supposedly worth $2 million. That's
Mhm.
not possible, but okay.
Right.
It's that just doesn't math. You don't have that kind of in one house.
If you consider the value of the turds in the casita.
So if you bought a house, I'll explain one scenario where again, I'm walking right over it. I'll explain a scenario where it could work. If you bought a house that needed a lot of work on it, and I don't mean a horse stall, I mean it needed a lot of structural and aesthetic changes to it, updates, appliances, the whole nine, flooring,
Mhm.
everything, right? New rooms even, right? We're adding on.
Mhm.
And you increase the value to 2 million in a
Mhm.
2-year period. That can happen, right? From 950,000 to 2 million. You can do that if you do all of those kinds of updates.
Well, but you would be spending money to do that.
Right.
On
But
the debt
also
side.
what I'm saying is you could, let's say you could get to 2 million.
Sure.
And the way you would come back down from that is if you had some sort of uninsurable damage that happened to the property, right? A flood that didn't get insured, or fire that didn't get insured, something that happened that destroyed the property back down to 1.45 million now, 2 years after that. Like this whole, what I'm getting at is this roller coaster of value doesn't make sense in a 4-year period. It's not possible.
There are market corrections, but it would be unlikely for a market correction to be that extreme.
Not in a 4-year period. During the foreclosure boom in 2005 to 2010, sure, absolutely.
Mhm.
But we didn't see him climb back up that fast either. We didn't see him
Correct.
climb fast even to begin with. They weren't climbing fast. They just got to a point where the bubble burst,
Yeah.
right? And the banks shot themselves in the foot by selling at the lowest possible price instead of going, oh, we have an asset. We should probably make sure we get our money's worth.
When did they buy this house in Arizona?
2021.
2021. So
January.
2021 would have been after the climb in the market adjustment in 2020 because of the pandemic, correct?
Right. And then you saw a rise, but it was like slow and steady, nothing
Right.
wild. And again, to see it all of a sudden back down is because
and they're not they're not in a place like Los Angeles where you could do a huge renovation and get an inordinate amount of value out of it.
I do believe that from 21 to 25, that based on the market, that this house, the value likely went from 950 to 1.45. I do believe that.
That makes sense.
I do not believe at any point that it spiked to 2 million and then came back down. And I know I'm hung up on it, but it's because it makes my brain itch, because it's not possible. And I feel like somebody manipulated something somewhere. And with the bank, you can't do that because they send out third party separate appraisers to do this stuff.
Mhm.
Well, that's just
you don't get to pick your appraiser.
Yeah, it's a red flag that there might be some sort of financial fraud occurring somewhere in this chain.
Yeah. That's my point. But I mean, in all reality, I can be as irritated as I want about it. Nothing will come of it. Of that specific fraud that likely occurred.
Hmm.
That's just so yeah, we've got this, this playing on words. It's their trademark. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think I'm probably gonna have to call it a night in just a minute or two.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm trailing off here, but
No.
I think that's
You did everything. You did everything we wanted you to do. It's fine.
we covered the emails, we covered the insanity, we covered the
Right.
Yeah.
bankruptcy hearing. Yeah, so they're
Back up to
oh,
speed.
I can tell you. Hold on. I can tell you what we can expect next here. Hold on.
Who's watching the World Series? Anybody?
Never been a
No, I'm
baseball.
not a baseball fan, but I know Omar was going to the game.
So their proof of claims deadline was October 23rd. So like pretty much the general non-important claims are all done in this case, other than what I said. Like I said, the federal taxes could come in to play. And then we had our 341 meeting today. Objections to the discharge are due by December 8th. So I was wrong on both fronts. It must be 40 days. Is that 40 days?
That's about
Yeah.
40 days, yeah.
Yeah, because there's 31 in October. Yeah. So 40 days from the date of the hearing, which is December 8th. And then the government's proof of claims deadline is February. So we'll see some activity between now and the objection deadline, I think. And may even see some activity from the trustee himself, which is not unlikely. Like that, I read cases all day long where the trustee is the one objecting, saying this isn't going to work, and I don't have what I need to make it work.
And the trustee would do that in a public way, like a docket type of filing, as opposed to. I mean, can they also work behind the scenes or
an objection to the plan? They will file an objection to the plan, and I feel like I mean I could be wrong, but I feel like they'd have to, because kind of like every move you make, you want to make sure it's documented, right? Because if it's not, then if they appeal or something, then you know everything has to be documented in a court.
So does the trustee work with the petitioners and have some sort of dialogue, and then if they reach an impasse, then they would file one of these objections publicly? Is that how it works? Or is there some other...
Yeah. And so I was saying I've said this a couple of times. I saw one recently where it was a single woman filing for bankruptcy, Chapter 13 on her own, but the trustee wanted to know how much her boyfriend made because he lived in her house.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know how much her boyfriend made because he wanted to make sure that somebody was contributing to the household. So, I mean, I know her creditors didn't ask for that. It was something he wanted to know. I don't even know if it's legal, but I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't know, but he wanted to know. So, the trustee has to work in the best interest of the creditors overall. That's the idea. They have to make sure that the creditors are going to be as whole as they would be as if the house was sold and there was anything left to pay off or distribute, which there wouldn't be because.
Okay. I have one more question, which is what classification in this bankruptcy filing should this GoFundMe money fall under if it was properly accounted for? Does it have is there an umbrella term for this type of income or money?
Hold on. I just asked that question to myself again recently.
Yeah.
And I believe I found it. Hold on one second. It's weird because here's my uneducated answer. I don't think the laws have caught up. The bankruptcy laws and rules and procedures have caught up with GoFundMe, but Yeah,
I'm not
during
surprised.
it's income. It's earnings and income, right? It's income. It's income. I think that's what the answer I had come to as well. It's and I even think there's a spot on here where they say, is there anything else? Right? Like, oh, this is funny. Tax refunds owed to you. Oh, no. The answer is no on this sheet. Oh, you already know that, do you? Okay, sorry. I'm getting sidetracked. Other amounts someone owes you.
Well, any
Yeah.
known, maybe there could be unknowns.
Any interest in property is due to you from someone who's died. She answered no. Oh my God. Okay, anyway. Contingent and unliquidated claims of any right. Like there's always these any financial assets you did not already list. That's the one. Number 35. Any financial assets you did not already list. And that is money you received. It's income. It's income.
Okay. So it would be classified as an asset then.
Well, I mean it's income, but I'm saying that's the category it would probably like basically if there's anything we didn't you didn't tell us, we need to know what else that is right now.
Was there a separate income section on the
Yeah,
application?
there was. Yeah, there's an income section. So it goes through like
either one of those places, and you would be okay because you'd be just doing your best to inform the court about this money.
Yeah. Right? So good point. If you wanted to tell the court about this money, you absolutely have the opportunity on several lines in this document, right?
Okay. And they wouldn't nitpick too hard about that.
Over disclosure is not if under disclosure isn't a problem, apparently, definitely over disclosure isn't a problem. So if you told them in the wrong line, I don't think they're hitting you hard for that as long as you told them.
Yeah, you're doing your best. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think they're mental? Now, this is pure speculation. Do you think the reason they're not talking about the GoFundMe money in this bankruptcy application is because in their mind, it's effectively spent already? Like they've already decided what to do with it. And even though it's active, right? Like people can still go put money into it, right? In their mind, it's something they've already used or allocated somewhere. So they're not putting it on this sheet. Is that correct? I mean, is that a thing? Is that something people would do?
Yeah, people will reason their way into anything like that. And that's exactly what I believe is happening. They are reasoning their way into not disclosing it, even though they are wrong about that.
And we don't know if that's the story here or not. It's just we're trying to figure out why this GoFundMe is not in this form at this point in time yet. Okay.
There's a pattern, in my opinion. Right. But yeah, you do, from what I know, you do have to pay taxes on GoFundMe money too. So yeah, it's income. It's income.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Doreen says it needs to be in the means test calculation.
Yeah. So I love Sour Doreen. She used to do bankruptcy stuff, and she is amazing. I've asked her so many questions in the last 5 days alone. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's some other stuff that we can get into later about chapter 7.
It should have been listed on the statement of financial affairs. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Let me read these two things right here. I think we've kind of answered this one by now. Wendy A, thank you for the 2 from a financial person. I see chapter 7. And no thanks. No thanks. Thank you for the $5. Yes, thanks. Towards Rich's Bagels. Yeah, right. Oh man.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta take off because I got some stuff I gotta do before I go to bed, and then to get ready for leaving this week.
Here's my mouth open reading this like Jan. Oh my God.
It's shocking.
All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Tiff. This is great.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.